So today's July 4th. Tomorrow, July 5th, I'm gonna start making videos about my vending machine business. How did I start it? What to look out for? Pretty much everything, the ins and outs of the business, how I keep my accounts, how to keep track of my numbers, my profits, my business accounts, how to set them up. Obviously, if there's any specific videos you guys want me to make, or viewers in general you guys want me to make, revolving around how do you find accounts, how do you buy accounts, how do you get started, the pros and cons of the industry, anything at all, more than open to discuss that, or how about the viewers as well. There's a lot of things that you can't really find on YouTube, or you can't find that many resources on, because it's a really hidden type of industry. One of the things about vending machines in general, a lot of people think it's passive income, when it's actually not. Passive income is when you literally have to put no time into it whatsoever, and you just have money coming in. Vending machines isn't really passive. It's more a side hustle. It's more like doing, for example, Uber, where you put in a certain amount of time and you get money out. It's very similar, right? So you can keep seeing these videos cut in and out. It's just me trying to think of what to discuss about, or add on to these videos, or just this video in general. So one big question probably to be getting is, how much money can you make from this type of business, right? One big factor you can find on research online is they say the location, right? Location is just one factor. There's a second big factor, but you don't really find much resources on. As I said, there's not a lot of resources online about vending machines, and I'm recovering some resources you don't find anywhere else. So one big factor is what you saw in these machines. One big spot is would you rather sell a canned Coke for $1, or would you rather sell a 16.9 ounce bottle for $1.50, right? So looking at the price difference between the two, there's a 50% increase in the sales price from the Coke to this bottle of 16.9 ounce, okay? So what I'm trying to say is that it's better to sell the 16.9 ounce and get $1.50 in sales versus the $1 in sales, okay? Location is a big factor, I'm not gonna lie. But if you put in the right products with the higher price, you're going to increase your sales. It's going to happen. I've seen that already with my locations, and that's one thing I've learned that you won't find anywhere else. Okay. Another big full disclosure as well. How much I make from my vending machines. I make roughly $500 to $600 bi-weekly profit. There's a way I calculate that. In a future video, I'll discuss that, how I calculate it. Monthly wise, I make roughly $1,000 to $1,100. But I typically take only about $500 out of the business, and $500 bi-weekly, and $1,000 monthly. And the excess amount, I either let it grow in my business account, or just use it for future supplies, okay? And I go from there. So how many locations do I own? I own actually 3. I own 2 warehouse locations, 1 laundromat location, okay? So another thing to look into is return on investment. So my return on investment right now for this business, for mine, I'm looking at roughly a year and a half to make back my money that I used to buy these accounts or acquire them, or even to set them up. I'm looking at roughly a year and a half. Another great benefit about this type of investment is that I'm making money, but at the end of the day, when I don't want to run it anymore and I don't want it anymore, I could sell these accounts for roughly around the same price. These accounts, this type of investment doesn't really change a whole lot. It's not that volatile, if that's the right term. They tend to keep their value. All right. They're not like stocks that move up and down all crazy. So if you don't want it anymore, you just sell it. So to add on about how much I make off of this. So whenever I go to the grocery store or to go buy my goods, for every dollar I spend on a good or a product, when I sell it, on average, I'll be getting back $2.30 when I sell the product. That's across everything. That's my average. So in other words, whenever I make $2.30 in sales, roughly $1.30 is profit. And that dollar that's left over would be going towards buying the cost of the good again and rinse and repeat. So the vending machine business is an all cash. It could be an all cash business. What I mean by that is you could get credit card readers on your machines as well. But if you set up credit card readers on your machines, you're most likely going to need a business account, some type of LLC. Specifically with vending machines, you don't need an LLC. You can pretty much do this business under the table if you really wanted to. In other words, you can set up your vending machines, all cash systems, at your locations or accounts that you have. Or you can set up credit card readers. But you're most likely not to open up a business account at a bank. And if that's the case, you also need an LLC. For myself, I have an LLC set up. I set it up back in February. It's really up to how you want to do it. If you want to set the business as an LLC or not, and just keep it all under the table. But if you do set up an LLC, you will have to report your taxes, etc. on this business. Benefits of an LLC though is you get experience of you actually running a business. In other words, if you plan on opening a larger business in the future, you can use this as basically experience showing that you've owned an LLC and you ran one before. Alright. Next thing I want to discuss is how much time does it take to start up the business. For every single business you start up, there's a bit more time you have to allocate to it when you're starting it up, such as purchasing the stuff, the learning curve in general. Basically everything has a learning curve to it. Full disclosure, I'm a manager at Amazon. I work 4 days off 3. So for about a month straight back in February and March, for a month and a half straight, every 3-day week and a half, I was allocating my 3 days to this because my learning curve was literally at the bottom and I didn't have anyone as reference to start it up. So the first video I want to make, starting tomorrow, would be basically what's my schedule like to service these machines at my locations. Basically how to handle my inventory, how to package my stuff, and like when I go out to service machines as well. As always, if there's any questions, just write down in the comments below.